Hello and welcome again to the One Story at a Time. And today, this story comes from Chinese culture. It's an old tale, simple on the surface but full of meaning. Let's get into it. Long ago in China, there were three monks. They were Zen Buddhist monks, and they were always laughing. They walked from city to city, from village to village, laughing loudly. When they arrived in the center of a town, they started laughing together. At first, people felt confused. Some thought it was strange, some thought it was ridiculous, but their laughter was contagious. Soon, everyone around them started laughing too. Then, the monks left the town, leaving the place happier than before, and they walked to the next village. They became famous. When people heard their laughter from far away, they already started smiling. One day, one of the monks died suddenly. People gathered to see how the two remaining monks would react. But instead of crying, they laughed even more than usual. When people asked why, the monks explained that the night before, the old monk had made a bet. He said he would be the first to die. He even had a will in his pocket. In his will, he asked not to change his clothes before the cremation. He said that through laughter, the dirt of the world never touched him. So, when the fire started, fireworks hidden in his clothes exploded, filling everyone with surprise and joy. The story of the three laughing monks reminds us that joy and laughter are essential parts of life, even in the face of death. Now, before we move on, let's use this story a little more, not to analyze it, not to translate it, just to let the language settle. Take advantage of this story. Take advantage of each episode of this podcast and let it help you to understand English better in a calmer and more natural way. So let's get into the vocab of this story. First word, thought. Thought means an idea in your mind. It can be quick or deep. And I'm going to connect this word to the story. In the story, it says, at first, people had different thoughts about the monks. They didn't know what the author meant. So, another example it is, a simple thought can change how we see a moment, a simple idea, a simple way of thinking, a simple thought. Now, word number two, monk or monks. Monks are people who choose a simple and reflective life. In the story, the monks didn't explain their philosophy, they live it. An example using the word monk, the monk taught joy through action, not words. Sometimes monks teach more by presence than by speech. Word number three, suddenly. Suddenly means without warning, something faster and unexpected. In the story, we have this example. One of the monks died suddenly out of nowhere, or suddenly reminds us that control is fragile, unexpected change. All right? And then we have word number four, gathered. Gathered means people came together in one place, could be physically and emotionally. In the story, people gathered to see the monk's reaction. Another example it is Lothar gathered strangers into one shared experience. Now let's talk a little bit about expressions. In the face of death. In the face of death is an expression and it means confronting something serious or inevitable. In the story, we have this example. The monks laughed in the face of death. What this shows? They accepted death but they chose joy as a response. Another example that I can give with this expression: even in the face of death, meaning can exist. Now, if you are a beginner, you are going to try to say what happened in the story. For example, the monks laughed. That's correct. That's enough. You don't have to have this full sentence, full summary of the story. You can start simple, and this is progress. And if you are an intermediate, you're going to just say what happened and add feeling. So you're going to say how it feels. The monks laughed and it felt surprising. The monks laughed and people felt confused at first. So you're going to add emotion. All right? This is your exercise. Tell the story again, adding emotion. So you're going to say what it means to you or what you understand from it. The monks laughed, and I think it shows acceptance. Or another example, they laughed because they didn't fear death. You are going to add meaning, okay? All right, and we are done for today. Stories help language feel human. When you use vocabulary inside a story, English stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling like communication. So keep taking advantage of these stories, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Until next time, one story at a time. Bye bye.